So, have you had a situation where you learned that you need to figure out how to create a really good work life balance? If you haven't had that situation where you understood you need to figure that out, then that means you just haven't bumped into the right people. And if that has given you a critique that you need to stop doing so much of this one thing that has consumed all of your time. And the reason I brought this up is because, um, I had a really good chat with my wife, and I thought that I should create me a video to explain what she had meant by that. And so, long story short, we sat down and we was having dinner, and I was like, I got all these really good videos that I am creating that my community is able to see uh, and is able to learn from. And how about you give me some good talking points? And so she had mentioned that uh, you have to create a really good work life balance, meaning that you have, and from her perspective, you really have to um, have the ability to enjoy things in the now and then make sure they don't, how would I say, they don't become too out of balance for the long term. Clear example. Um, if you're trying to, let's say, educate, your daughter or your son, or you're trying to teach someone something, you have to be able to figure out how to do it in small steps, right? And if you're able to do it in small steps, um, in between all of the other things that you have going on, you create this environment that you are a very good productive person to, and you understand how to utilize your time in different scenarios. And the reason I explain it in that fashion is because when you get to the long term, where the end game is you wanted your son, your daughter, or this person that you're teaching to be able to be effective at doing a very particular task, let's say a very um, like they're able to really enjoy math or something along that line. You have to create a situation where, or you have to foster an environment where you're being able to take very small pieces of your time and uh, utilize that to get your point across. And so when it comes to work life balance, she mentioned that you have to be able to enjoy life on your terms with your family and not compromise what you're trying to do for your business or for the company you work for. You need to be able to do both. And she is extremely good at doing that. And so, for those of you that are out there and you're trying to understand how to create this environment where you have a work life balance flow that really works for you, take a step back and learn from someone that is not doing what you are doing. Understand why you're doing it, understand why you are doing it, and the long term gain, the long term goal that you're trying to accomplish, and then have them put their spin on what you're doing to say, all right, I understand this, but if you take a little bit of your time and enjoy this event or this time with myself uh, and your family, you would be able to understand how to create an environment where you have overall good work and life balance. Because at the end of the day, right? You want to have in how would I say it? You probably want to have a nice amount of money, But the only reason you want to have a nice amount of money is because you want to have a good lifestyle, right? In order to have a good lifestyle, you need to create very small pieces of good lifestyle events. And then, in the meantime of doing that, the the hard work that you're putting in to create a situation where you have very good finances, you have to be able to, create these very small outings that give you the meaning of having a good time. And so, in order to do that, right, you would really just boil down to who can I talk to understand what the heck is a really good work life balance. And I feel for those of you that are out there and that are married, you will be able to really understand that from a husband and wife perspective. And those of you that are not married, not to knock that, but those of you that are not married and you just have someone that's in a different realm as you, they would be able to give you some good advice. And those are people that like a mentor for yourself or someone that you really respect to have them give you a critique on how you are being effective at creating a business or being effective at being very valuable at your work, and how do you apply that to creating a good life balance, right? So you need to be able to have a good work life balance. So in order to do that, just figure it out, because at the end of the day, you want to have a good life, and you can't have a good life without having a good work life balance. Talk to you guys soon. See you.